Big fight week, big men. Grows every time I see him. Yeah, you were 6'2", I think, last time I saw you. You look about 6'5" tonight.
That's it. Yeah, I'm getting there slowly, and getting there slowly.
You just make the weight every time.
Yeah. It don't get any easier. I'll be honest with you, don't get any easier. But I'm maintaining my professionalism to make it for as long as I can.
How big does Wembley Stadium sound to you? 96,000 people.
Yeah.
You're up against a guy who is a bit of a Cinderella man.
Yep.
Rocky story.
Yep.
How does it feel?
Do you know what? I've tried to keep it as very simple as possible in my head in camp, because I don't want to think, 96,000 people. I don't want to make it bigger than what it already is.
But we're going to do that all week.
Guys are going to do that, yeah, 100%. But as for me, coming from a fighter's perspective, I've just kind of put the blinkers on and come fight night, I'll end this Cinderella man story.
Could this be a York Hall or a leisure centre as far as you're concerned?
Yeah, it could be anywhere, I swear to you. It could be in the local park or whatever. Listen, Hamzah Sheeraz is turning up and getting the win.
Why can you not afford to soak up the atmosphere and do that walk and stand on the ring apron and absorb the energy of 100,000 people in England's National Football Stadium and say, here's my sword, and here's my shield,
remember that,
and I'm going to war. Why can't you afford to do that? You're good enough to.
Yeah, no, I definitely could, but I've never done it before. And I don't want to change anything now. I've kept everything. You know the saying, why fix it if it's not broken? And that's how I'm going about it, and that's how I've gone about all my fights. So I've kind of just kept it. It doesn't matter, like I said, where it is. You just get the blinkers are on, and that's it. I'm turning up and doing my thing.
You and I did an interview for a book that's coming out soon, Call of the Warrior.
Yep.
And in that, I asked you about being a gladiator back in Rome.
Yep. And
what did you pick? You picked two swords or a sword and a shield.
Yeah, that sword and the shield it was.
Is it not going to be like that on Saturday night?
It's like that when the first bell goes. That's it. When the first bell goes, that's it. The sword and shield comes out, and that's it. We get cracking. But like I said before that, I've done everything in my physical capability to make sure that you get the best version of a Hamzah Sheeraz, not just for myself, not just for my team, but all the people tuning in around the world and the people there present at Wembley Stadium.
You talk about people tuning in around the world, Hamzah. I don't remember, or I can't recall anyone quite like you that people have been talking about. I remember when Naz Hamid came on the scene.
Yeah.
I remember when Conor McGregor came on the scene. I'm trying to think of others. I'm not outside the heavyweight division. The thrill and excitement of someone who could dare to be not just good but great.
Yeah.
How do you carry that? Because you can't have missed people saying those things about you. Myself, Spencer Oliver, people on talkSPORT, Frank Warren, fans around the world. A lot of people saying that about you. How do you deal with it?
Do you know, when I first started hearing it, I kind of chose to ignore it because I didn't want to believe it, and I still don't believe it now because I like to keep my feet on the ground and remain humble. But when it comes from people like the likes of yourselves and Spencer, it's kind of, it's real because you've been there, seen it, done it, and it comes from a credible source.
That's because we feel thrilled by you. There's something in you that's thrilling us.
No, I appreciate that. And I suppose it just comes down to, I'm a very humble human as it is, and I always have been, and God willing, inshallah, always will remain one. But it's just, I never ever like to believe it. And it's more about me. It comes from within. It comes from me not being complacent and not being content, because I feel like the day I kind of look back and think, okay, they've said this, they've said that, is the day that I kind of let my guard down. It's like I said, now it's just all about doing what I've got to do, creating a legacy in the sport, and then maybe one day when I retire, I can look back and say, what they said was like bang on.
I mentioned Nazim Hamid there. He always used to talk about K and O, and it was God's will. Manny Pacquiao's talked about God's will, inshallah, as you would say yourself. You said you don't believe sometimes, but do you know you're going to be a world champion?
Yeah, 100%. I wouldn't be here. I wouldn't be sitting here. I wouldn't be wasting everyone's time if I didn't think otherwise. And that was one of the key reasons I got myself out to America, because I wanted to make sure that I've got the minerals and I've got the material to become a world champion. And I wanted to know early on in my career it was something that I had to ask myself and answer myself as well, and that's exactly what I've done.
Are there lots of people out? Our coach is there, of course. He's just on the other side of the camera.
Yeah.
Out there in Is it Oxnard?
No, we're in Van Nuys.
Van Nuys, yeah.
Yep.
Are there loads of people in there every day trying to knock your head off?
Yeah, there are.
Puerto Ricans, Mexicans, African Americans.
Yeah, it's been like that from day one, to be fair. Ricky always gets the good sparring coming in, and the first kind of few camps was more of a gut check. Ricky wanted to make sure that like I could not just give a beating, but could take one as well. Because as much as you give in this sport, you have to be able to take as well.
I think your last performance, and this is why Spencer and I have maintained our view on you.
Yeah.
We saw that against Ammo Williams.
Yeah,
that was a gut check fight.
Yeah,
Second
absolutely.
round, first round, you had a hard time.
Yep.
You were in recovery for a period of time. You were in that tunnel.
Yep.
You came out the other side. You beat him up. You stopped him.
Yep.
So you know now.
Exactly, and Yeah, it's good to know that, especially in an actual fight when it gets deep and you got so much at stake. You know that
you're in the trench.
Exactly.
You don't know till you know. We don't know about Moses Tama yet.
Yep.
We don't know
Yep.
about some of these great stars. You find out in the process.
And not until you know, then you can kind of take that next step in becoming that much of a greater fighter. Because now going into my fight with Tyler Denny, I know I've been there before. Do you know what I mean? I know I've been there. I know what it takes, and now you'll see a better version of me than you saw against Ammo Williams.
And he's beaten 5 unbeaten fighters.
Yep.
You'll know this.
Yep.
He's on that rise. I said he's like a Cinderella man. He's a fantastic human being,
Yep.
as you know.
Yep.
He was being a plumber before. He's able to have proper camps now. He's a last-minute guy. You wanted Chris Eubank, but maybe you'll get Chris Eubank. I think you will at some point.
Yeah.
Tell us about the things you have to be wary of. Obviously not giving the game plan away, but that you have to be wary of with Tyler, and how you feel. Will you finish him? Do you think you can take him to the well? How do you see him as an opponent?
You know what? I think the biggest thing I have to be wary of here is his will and his desire to win. I think that's the biggest thing we have to look at here, because he's got the opportunity of a lifetime. And you've got to look at it from his perspective and in his shoes. But then at the same time, it's the biggest opportunity for me as well. So I kind of got to go in there and put a stop to this Cinderella man story he's got going on. And I have every intention of doing so.
Mark Chamberlain is supposedly Turki Al-Sheikh's favourite fighter. But I think you're getting pretty close to that. You're an ambassador for Riyadh season. He's hugging and kissing you at the end of the event. He's up at the ropes.
Yeah.
Can you steal the show on Saturday?
Yeah, definitely. And it's nothing I haven't done before. And I have every intention of doing so. Like I said, I put in the hours, put in the graft, and it'd be rude if I wasn't going in there to steal the show.
Pleasure to see you as always.
Thank you very much.
Hamzah Sheeraz.
Cheers.
On AM, on DAB, via the talkSPORT app, and on your smart speaker. talkSPORT.